The dawn rises pale over a world both harsh and beautiful. Inside a rough shelter, a Stone Age family wakes to aching stomachs and fading embers. There is no stored grain, no basket of fruit, no market beyond the trees, only hunger pressing in with every breath. Each step outside carries risk. Poisoned berries, swift prey, hidden predators. Yet survival allows no pause. Their rhythm is carved in struggle, wake, search, hope, endure. Hunger is not passing discomfort. It is the shadow that rules every day. The family steps into the wilderness, their eyes scanning the ground with quiet urgency. Bushes heavy with berries offer a promise. Yet behind that sweetness lurks danger. One wrong choice could end a life. Roots are pulled from the soil, bitter or starchy, sometimes nourishing, sometimes poisonous. Bark is scraped, insects plucked, grubs wriggling between fingers. Nothing is wasted. Everything is considered. Each taste is a test, a gamble between sustenance and sickness. Knowledge is their shield, lessons whispered by elders, instincts sharpened by survival. Every mouthful brings relief, but never certainty. In this constant search, courage and caution walk hand in hand. For one mistake in nature's hidden pantry can mean the end. Summer's warmth fades, and the earth hardens beneath frost. Once green meadows stand barren, streams glaze with ice, and snow smothers the land. The baskets once brimming with roots and berries now return almost empty. Hunger becomes a silent predator, wearing down both body and spirit. Children whimper through long nights, their cries thin and weak, while the elders falter, strength slipping away. The tribe learns the cruel rhythm of the seasons nature gives generously, then withdraws without pity. In winter's grip, survival is no longer choice, but endurance, a struggle against cold, hunger, and despair that shapes human resilience. Hunger pushes the mind where comfort never could. Stones once used to split wood are reshaped, edges sharpened into tools of survival. With every strike, humans carve new possibilities, turning necessity into invention. The forest no longer offers only roots and berries now. The hunt begins. Working side by side, they stalk prey, set traps, and strike with growing precision. Each kill is more than food. It is victory over despair. Hunger ceases to be a curse and becomes humanity's most relentless teacher. Through hunger, wisdom takes root. The family learns that survival is never found in one source alone. Plants offer healing and variety. Meat grants power and endurance. And fire reshapes both into safety. Balance becomes their greatest weapon, transforming desperate struggle into a strategy that will define humanity's path. Before the first light breaks, shadows gather around the dying embers of the fire. Men and women grip stone-tipped spears, their edges hardened in flame, their weight heavy with expectation. The world is hushed, only the crackle of ash dares to speak. Each breath feels measured, each movement deliberate. For even the faintest sound could scatter prey still unseen. What lies ahead is not chance, but ritual, a dance between hunger and hope. Every role has been rehearsed in silence, passed down from those who came before. Failure carries no mercy, only weakness, despair, and the slow ache of hunger waiting to consume them. Across endless plains and shadowed forests, hunters move like whispers on the wind. Their eyes sweep the ground for clues: a cracked twig, the faint press of a hoof, or the steam rising from fresh dung. To them, the earth is a living map, revealing the path of giants. Mammoths, bison, deer, and wild horses are not mere food but living fortresses, each capable of crushing a careless hunter. Strength alone cannot win this contest. Strategy becomes the weapon. Some creep silently in the rear, while others swing wide to turn the herd toward ravines or hidden traps. Every step is measured, every breath controlled. Patience stretches into hours, waiting for the one opening when instinct collides with opportunity. A single mistake scatters the herd, leaving only empty hands and the weight of hunger. The stillness shatters in an instant. Spears flash through the air as hunters surge forward, voices echoing across the plains. Panic ripples through the herd, hooves pound the earth, tusks slash at the air, and for a heartbeat, life hangs on the edge of chaos. A single misstep could mean shattered bones beneath a bison's weight, or a swift, brutal end beneath a mammoth's tusks. Yet desperation drives courage. Even when the animal falls, danger lingers. Wolves gather, hyenas circle. The night itself hungers for blood. But triumph brings more than meat. It delivers strength in flesh, endurance in fat, hidden energy in marrow, and tools carved from bone. Each kill demands sacrifice, yet its rewards fuel survival and shape the tribe's future. The beast collapses beneath a storm of spears, its final cry echoing across the plains. The hunter's voices rise in triumph, a chorus born from fear turned into victory. The ground is slick with blood, the air thick with the scent of survival. There is no time for celebration. Flint blades carved swiftly, flesh stripped, fat preserved. Marrow set aside, hides become clothing, bones new tools, sinew strong bindings. Nothing is wasted, for every piece carries value. More than a meal, this is proof of resilience, of unity, of a tribe that has outwitted hunger once again. That night, the tribe gathers close to the fire, the scent of roasting meat curling into the night sky. Sparks rise like stars as flames paint their faces with warmth. The silence of hunger gives way to laughter, to stories shared in low voices. The meal is more than food, it is proof of endurance, a ritual of unity. Each bite turns struggle into strength, hardship into memory. Beneath the stars, they are not only hunters, but builders of humanity's story. The child crouches close, eyes locked on the soil as his mother works with patient care. Her fingers search the earth, tugging roots from the ground, separating food from hidden death. A wrong choice could mean sickness, even silence. The child studies every move, the curve of a safe leaf, the bitter scent of danger, the weight of nourishment. Here, survival is not spoken, but shown. This moment is inheritance, knowledge passed down, guarding tomorrow's hunger with the wisdom of yesterday's hands. Foraging was never a matter of chance. Each family carried within them a memory older than stories, a knowledge sharpened by survival. They knew which bitter leaves could cool a fever, which nuts would last through the cold months, and which berries turned from danger to sweetness only when the season ripened them. The turning of the year became their compass, summer swelling with fruit, autumn heavy with nuts, winter demanding roots pulled from frozen ground. To wander the forest was to listen, to read a language etched in bark, scent, and soil. Every mistake carried a shadow, yet every discovery promised life. With each harvest, the tribe tightened its bond with the earth, hearing the forest whisper in tones only patience could reveal. Plants demanded more than courage. They demanded memory. A single mistake could end a life, so teaching became the shield against hunger. Elders spoke of leaves that healed and berries that betrayed. Mothers showed how roots must be cut, soaked, or roasted before they could nourish. Hunters traced invisible maps in their minds, marking where nut trees would yield each season. Unlike animals bound by instinct, humans forged a library of lessons. Words became sharper, stories heavier with meaning. Through memory passed from voice to ear, survival transformed into culture. In every child taught, humanity carried its greatest advantage forward. The land offered no promises. One season, rivers overflowed, spilling life across the plains, and baskets filled with seeds until they strained under the weight. Families sang as they stored food, their voices echoing across fields heavy with grass. Yet the same earth could betray them. Drought split the ground, roots shriveled, and hunger pressed close. Feasts gave way to silence, and laughter faded into whispers of endurance. In these cycles, survival belonged to those who remembered, who knew the hidden tubers, the bitter leaves, the secret stores of life. Nature gave, then withheld, shaping humanity through both kindness and cruelty. Plants offered more than nourishment. From the bark of the willow came relief from pain. From herbs came calm for fevers and coughs. And from broad leaves came bandages for torn flesh. Even when meat filled their fires, it was plants that guarded health in silence. They healed, restored, and reminded humanity that survival was not only about strength, but also about care, memory, and resilience carried forward through generations. A hunter lays raw meat upon glowing embers, and the fire answers with a hiss that startles the watching tribe. Smoke rises, carrying an aroma unlike anything they have known, sharp, rich, almost sweet. Curiosity wrestles with fear until the first bite is taken. What was once tough and bloody softens into something tender, safer, and strangely satisfying. In that instant, flame ceases to be just a shield against beasts or a source of warmth. It becomes a partner in survival, reshaping food, reshaping life. Around the fire, humanity takes one step closer to mastering both nature and themselves. Before fire, every bite carried a shadow of danger. Raw meat hid parasites that weakened the body, roots resisted the teeth, and bitter plants tested the stomach with hidden toxins. Fire overturned this fragile balance. Roots softened, poisons lost their power, and grains released their hidden strength. Meat no longer threatened sickness, it promised safety and satisfaction. With each meal, energy stretched further, bodies grew stronger, and minds were freed from the constant dread of poison or hunger. The blaze had become more than survival's ally. It was humanity's silent teacher. Where food had once been hazard, now it was harvest nature's locked doors opened by flame, transforming every meal into both nourishment and newfound power. Cooked food brought more than relief from danger, it carried a hidden force. Flame released energy locked inside roots, grains, and meat, giving humans more fuel from every mouthful. With this surplus, Bodies grew stronger, minds grew sharper, and endurance stretched far beyond what nature once allowed. Longer hunts became possible, journeys reached farther horizons, and ideas sparked in ways raw food could never sustain. Around the campfire, strength met imagination, and both began to rise together. Each meal no longer simply filled a belly, it built resilience, courage, and vision. Fire turned eating into evolution, powering humanity's leap from survival to progress. The fire pit glowed at the heart of camp, a circle where hunger met something greater. Families gathered not only to eat, but to connect. The warmth of flame carried laughter, lessons, and the weaving of plans. A cooked meal became more than survival, it became ritual. Sharing roasted meat or tender roots bound people closer, forging ties that outlasted hunger. Each flame-lit gathering carried memory, shaping identity and trust. Fire gave food a voice, turning meals into stories and survival into unity. In these circles, humanity found not just strength, but belonging. In the fire's glow, survival shifted into something greater. Flames offered safety from the night, warmth against the cold, and a place where voices carried beyond hunger. Around embers, ideas sparked as surely as light, binding families into tribes and tribes into societies. Fire reshaped bodies and minds, turning instinct into imagination. Each meal over flame was more than food, it was a step towards civilization itself. Today's markets overflow with choices, bright fruits from across oceans, shelves heavy with grains, and frozen meat ready at hand. Yet beneath this abundance, the human body remembers another world. It remembers empty stomachs, desperate hunts across open plains, and bitter roots clawed from frozen earth. Those echoes live in cravings, in the way we store energy, in the shadows of our metabolism. Surrounded by plenty, we forget that evolution shaped us in scarcity, where every meal was uncertain and every bite a battle won. The Stone Age table was simple, but its effects were profound. Meat, rich in protein, ignited the growth of larger brains capable of planning, inventing, and imagining beyond instinct. Fat, rare and treasured, gave stamina for endless hunts and migrations across unforgiving landscapes. Plants filled the gaps, carrying vitamins, minerals, and healing compounds that shielded families from illness. This delicate balance was not a choice, but a necessity, refined through countless generations. Each bite of flesh, each gathered root, forged an invisible path toward the humans we are today. Our strength, endurance, and intelligence remain living echoes of a diet born from hunger, hardship, and survival against the odds. Survival was never only about fire or shelter, it was about knowing what could be eaten and when. As small bands of humans pushed beyond familiar valleys, their diet became a map, pointing the way forward. In scorching deserts, they learned to follow the rhythm of scarce rains. In thick forests, they uncovered roots and fruits hidden in shadows. In frozen tundra, they turned to the hunt for life. Every landscape demanded change, and every change became wisdom. Food was more than sustenance, it was direction, shaping roots, settlements, and growth. Strength mattered, but adaptation mattered more. Reading the land meant living another day. The shift began quietly, yet it changed everything. Where once forests teemed with countless foods, now fields stretched in ordered rows. Grains became the heartbeat of survival, filling more mouths than ever before but narrowing what those mouths consumed. Variety gave way to dependence, and with it came unseen costs. Bones weakened, teeth decayed, and sickness found new ground. Farming offered stability, yet that stability carried fragility. The Stone Age had thrived on diversity. Agriculture gambled on sameness. Humanity flourished in numbers, but vitality dimmed. The victory of cultivation was not pure triumph, it was the first compromise of civilization. Though our tables overflow with choices unimaginable to our ancestors, the past has not left us. Deep within, our bodies still brace for famine, our senses still lean towards sweetness and fat. Echoes of a world where survival hinged on scarcity. Every shared meal carries fragments of rituals born in firelight and danger. The Stone Age diet has faded, yet its memory endures a whisper written into our very DNA, reminding us that once, food was nothing less than life itself.